So in the sea of comfort shoes, there was one that reigned supreme for years, and that shoe was the king of comfort, and that shoe is what started this whole comfort trend. Because beforehand, we were at the mercy of retro sneakers and settling for the quality that they gave us in these shoes. We all know Jordan retros, Reebok retros, New Balances and all that stuff really wasn't a thing, right? We still had shell toes in the rotation, Air Force Ones, and those shoes by all accounts just weren't comfortable. Now came adidas Boost. That technology is what started this trend that we are on right now when we talk about comfort. Those shoes went absolutely crazy. They did. Everybody had a pair of adidas Boost. 1.0s, the 2.0s, so on and so forth. Thousands of colorways. Even, the implementation of Boost into a lot of adidas sneakers. That was their cushion technology. You had them in Yeezy. You had all of those, right? But Boost reigned supreme. And by all accounts, adidas kind of fumbled that bag. But they are back. In the sea of running shoes that I have procured over the last few months now, with these being the Vomero premiums. What else do I have here? A pair of the black Pegasus premiums. What else I got here? I got a pair of the Vomero Pluses. Another pair. I got a pair of old Under Armour shoes because I run now, right? And I've shown you all Nike shoes because that's where the comfort is for me. I tried a pair of Hokas. I have not tried a pair of the Brooks or the Asics. Have not tried a pair of those, but stay tuned here on the set where I will be copping a pair of those because I don't really buy retros no more, man. I got everything I need. And truth be told, and you know this too if you're watching this video, they just fucking uncomfortable. Let's just call a spade. And now with people in my age group, hell with everybody, nobody wants to be wearing that shit all day long. In comes adidas again with these. Man, we got the adidas Hyperboost. I don't even know what you want to call those. The EPHRs, I guess, EPHR or EPHR, I don't know what you want to call it, but Boost is back. And by that, I mean the king of comfort has returned. Now, will it live up to the hype that is surrounded with adidas and Boost technology with this new iteration of Hyperboost? I don't know, but this shoe looks absolutely amazing. When we talk about the design here, it looks very familiar, right? This swooping panel here on both sides reminds me of the Yeezy 700s. That's not a bad thing because that shoe was stupid popular, and guess what? It had Boost technology in it too, right? Okay, but it does take a few other design cues from other adidas projects. It kind of reminds you of the AE1 low, right? It does. And I'm not mad at that because I love the AE1s. The AE1s was it for me. In the low variation, those were even more dope to me, right? So it kind of looks like a 700 and a AE1 low had a baby with Boost on the bottom. That's exactly what it looks like. Like this Boost technology, hopefully it lives up to the hype. So I'm gonna quit my yapping and get to the shit that actually matters. That's the on foot. And what I'm gonna do is something different than I guess some people do, because this is going to be a running shoe for me and a lifestyle shoe for me at the same time. I'm going to wear this shoe for the rest of the day. And then what I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm gonna wear this shoe right here for a whole 8-hour shift and see what the comparison would be to my shoe that I wear all day long now at work. Well, some days. It's a split between this one and this one, right? So we're gonna put these to the test and see just how well they perform, yeah, against the Nike crew, because it's gonna be hard pressed for me to find a shoe that'll beat, for comfort for me, the Vomero Premium and the Vomero Plus. I thought the Pegasus Premiums was it for me. So the fact that I got 2 pair, I did a couple races in those shoes, and I thought that those were it. Nah, son. Nah. I much prefer to run in the Vomero Plus over the Premium, and I much prefer to wear that shoe. Okay, let me not say wear that shoe casually on an 8-hour shift. I prefer wearing the Vomero Premium in that aspect, just because you got those stacked Zoom Air, Zoom X, all of that other shit that's in that shoe. Yeah, you come home at the end of the 8-hour shift and you're just like, all right, yeah, this feels great. So I want to see what's going to happen when I wear these for an 8-hour shift. So I'm going to pop out here. I'm going to wear these for the rest of the day, get some footage, get some A-roll, B-roll, all that type shit. And I'm going to wear these on my next shift, which is tomorrow. And then I'm going to pop back in here and finish out the review. I know that was a long intro, but trust me, it'd be well worth it. And if you have not done so, please hit that like and subscribe button and comment down below as, you know, and let me know whether, you know what? Let me know how many pair of Adidas Boost did you have on the 1.0 or 2.0s. Let me know how many you had. And let me know what the most popular version of that shoe was for you. That's what I want to know from you. So, that being said, man, let's get into it. Okay, so fresh out the heels of this long 8-hour day, wearing the Adidas Hyperboost, whatever acronym they decide they wanted to give these. But I say that this shoe is very comparable to the comfort of the Vomero Plus. Are they on the level of the Vomero Premiums? No, not at all. But again, it takes a while to be able to break a shoe in so it actually feels like an all-day shoe. So I did wear it all day, and I wore it all day yesterday. Well, the rest of the day yesterday when I made the first part of this video. And today I wore it for an entire, I think more than 8 hours. I wore it for an 8-hour shift, had it on prior to, took the kids to school, did some stuff around the house before I went to work. And yeah, so we're looking at probably a good 12, 13 hours in this shoe. It's not super squishy. It's not. But what it is very, very comfortable. And I say you'll have no problem wearing this shoe all day because I actually put it to the test. Now in the next video, we're actually going to take these for a run and see how they feel in comparison to the other shoes that I run in. So if you have not done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you'll see when this video drop. So overall, for the daily wear test of this shoe, I will give this shoe a solid 8. out of 10. Probably 8.5 out of 10. That's what I would give this shoe, because I didn't have any aches. Standing still in this shoe isn't the most comfortable, but again, I've only had the shoe 2 days, and it takes a while for you to actually be able to have your feet set in this shoe and for the boost to react to your body and how you move. So again, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10 for this shoe. Solid work, Adidas. Solid work. I will be getting a different colorway in these. I think I'm gonna go for the all black, and it doesn't necessarily look like fry cook shoes, but I need that all black just so I can actually beat the hell out of them, run in them, do whatever I need to do with them, and not have them look like a bag of ass. So yeah, I highly recommend this shoe. Definitely go true to size. I wear a size 12. It fits just right. Just a little bit of room, but once you hit the runner's knot up here, the runner's loop, if you're running in these, then they'll fit perfect. I didn't do that because I wasn't running in them. The tongue didn't give me any issues. Super lightweight shoe, very airy. So breathability on the scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 10. So overall, 8.5 out of 10 for the Adidas Hyperboost EPHR, whatever it is. I'm your boy Money Matt with another sneaker review here on the set. I bid you folks adieu. Peace. Y'all ain't see that, right? No, let's try that again. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. We out.